And I'd like to start by sharing a story with you that I believe reflects not only my journey, but a story of many of us who have walked the path that we walk in today, filled with challenges, perseverance, but ultimately discovery. So I will start by sharing my story with you. In the summer of 1996, I graduated at the age of 21. I graduated from university with a degree in business management, specializing in accounting. And like most graduates, I was looking for my perfect job. I applied to every bank in St. Lucia, and I really believe that I did apply to the ECCB too. I think I did. I applied to accounting firms, business houses, the government, statutory bodies. I think, Dr. Jules, I probably sent an application to OECS as well. Even the Teaching Service Commission. And yet I received nothing but letters of regret. It felt as though every door was closing at every turn. Then one day, I saw an ad in a newspaper from an employment agency that was looking for personnel to fill roles at St. Lucia's largest hotel at the time. I hesitated, but I submitted my resume because I thought to myself, I have nothing to lose. And to my surprise, within days, I got offered a position as a receptionist. I was not too excited, but after months of unemployment, I accepted the role. But let me tell you, working in the hospitality industry at that time was a very hard decision for me. The compensation was very low. Like many young people would say, the math was simply just not mathing. The hours were long, night shifts, weekends, irregular schedules. And most importantly, at the time, I was a single parent. I was raising a young son. And so after some time, I left the hospitality industry and entered into the very lucrative oil and gas sector as a junior accountant. It was an industry, as you could imagine, that paid well. It was stable, 8 a.m. to 4:30, with probably an hour and a half for lunch, or probably 2 on a Friday. And in addition, it allowed me the luxury of spending more time with my son. But in just under 2 years, I made a decision that shocked so many people. I left the oil and gas industry and to take up a job that would pay me over $500 less. Can I ask you where I went to? Yes, I went back to tourism. Because I had found a role that provided me a balance of personal life and contribute to my professional aspirations. It was my true calling, because for me, tourism was not just a job, it was about something deeper. It was about purpose, it was about passion and people. And when I reflect on the theme for this dialogue, I think back on my story. Why did I leave the security of the oil and gas industry to return to tourism, and for less money? There are 4 reasons that come to mind. First, tourism is a people industry. And from the moment I started in hospitality, one of the things that struck me was the opportunity for me to meet people around the world, each with a different accent, a different story, a different look, a different feel, a different vibe, a different way of life, and that intrigued me. So allow me to share with you some of our statistics, because at the Caribbean Tourism, one of the things that we do very well is to look at statistics, collect data, and analyze it. So at the end of 2024, the Caribbean welcomed over 66 million visitors. That included stayover visitors as well as cruise passengers. And you heard a lot about cruise from the previous presentation, but let me focus a little bit on the stayover sector. Of that stayover sector, when we break it down, 16.8 million came from the United States. 5.2 million, came from Europe. 33.2 million came from Canada. 1.9 million came from South America. 1.6 million was us traveling through the region, and 1.2 came from the United Kingdom. And 5.1 million came from other parts of the world, including the Middle East, Africa, and Asia. The common thread among these 66 million people is that they all were seeking an experience. And from a tourism perspective, I don't always talk about product, I speak about experiences. Most come with the intention to the Caribbean to just relax on a beautiful beach, enjoying a cocktail, and you heard about that from the previous presentation. But what they would soon realize is that our people shaped that experience. And after more than 25 years in this industry, I could confidently say that our people are the greatest assets. Not the beauty of our islands or the stunning beaches, it's our people. Our people embody true essence of the Caribbean. They represent the soul of the region. The second reason I left the oil and gas industry and went back to tourism is that tourism is a dynamic industry. Tourism is not a simple industry. It's based on the dynamic ecosystem, a vibrant network that binds the public and the private sector, the local economies and visitors. And at the very heart of this ecosystem is the Caribbean citizen. Together, we form the social, cultural, economic fabric that makes the Caribbean tourism what it is today. Now let's take a look at how this ecosystem works. The government and quasi-government bodies regulate, invest in, and promote vital infrastructure that supports this industry. At the same time, our local community serve as the custodians of our culture and heritage, ensure that our authentic essence of the Caribbean is preserved, because remember what I said our asset is. Tourism providers ranging from hotels, resorts, local tour guides, and taxi drivers create experiences that reflect who we are as a people. Now, our visitors have a role as well. They play an essential role. Their preferences shape the way we adopt, innovate, and elevate our tourism experience. Every aspect of the tourism industry is a collective effort. Each person, each organization, whether from within the Caribbean or from our diaspora, contributes significantly to its success. Within this expansive ecosystem, there exists a wealth of opportunities for career and business development, from finance and retail to hospitality and agriculture, entertainment, food and beverage, and transportation. Every sector contributes. There are countless ways that the Caribbean citizen can engage and contribute to this ever-evolving industry. For example, in customer-facing roles, leadership roles, and very important, as business owners as well. The third reason, ladies and gentlemen, is that tourism is a resilient industry. Yes, many may describe the industry as fickle or sensitive to internal shocks, and I don't dispute that at all. Like any industry, tourism can be impacted by global crisis as we see today. But let me make one thing clear. Tourism is also one of the most resilient industries in the world. Think back to the recovery from the pandemic. The Caribbean was among the first regions to rebound, and we all did it together. We didn't just survive, we thrived. We grew, not despite our challenges, but because of the way we confronted them, united and strong. And we now have this opportunity to confront our challenges with unity and with strength. So the young people who may be listening to me online or will catch me later on YouTube, I say don't be afraid to embrace this industry, because it is robust, it is bullish, it is dynamic. Tourism is an industry that shapes you, that challenges you, that stretches you, and most importantly, offers endless opportunities for growth. So stand tall, take pride in what we have built in the Caribbean together, and know that the future of tourism in the Caribbean is ours to shape. The final point is that tourism is a Caribbean industry. Tourism is at the heart of the Caribbean economy, and you heard that before. The Caribbean is one of the most tourist-dependent regions in the world, and so we must leverage this important opportunity. It's not just about today. It's not only about what's happening today, but it's about preparing for tomorrow. We must position tourism as a rich, expansive field of opportunity for our youth. Tourism is not just about service jobs. It's not just about being a waiter, a bartender, a tour guide. Ladies and gentlemen, it creates careers in every sector, from the blue economy of our oceans and beaches to the green economies of our environmental sustainability, to the orange and purple economy that celebrates creativity and culture, and the emerging silver economy. From finance to technology, marketing and culture, tourism is everywhere. It creates jobs at every level in society, and every citizen can contribute to this growth. But the question is, are we equipping our youth with the tools they need to seize opportunities that are unfolding before them? Permit me to be a little selfish at this point and share with you some of the things that we are doing at the Caribbean Tourism Organization. We offer over 192 courses, some of which are tailored specifically for young professionals. With partners such as the Caribbean Development Bank, we are modernizing tourism education and workforce development across the Caribbean. For over 20 years, we've hosted the CTO Youth Congress, an initiative that brings young leaders at the secondary school level together to shape our future industry. And I'm very happy that I'm currently on the land of our current youth tourism ambassador who's based in Nevis. We recently launched the Next Gen Showcase, where young talents at the tertiary level now get to showcase their innovative ideas. And this will be launched this year at our flagship event at Caribbean Week. And I do take this opportunity for everyone to join us at Caribbean Week when we celebrate the Caribbean product in one of our largest markets. Through the CTO Foundation, we offer tertiary level scholarships to young students who are passionate about tourism. We also host a regional summer internship program every year. And finally, we host an HR conference where we offer a number of master classes. And last year, we had the privilege of hosting on the beautiful island of Nevis. I take this opportunity to invite you this year to our HR conference, which will be held in the British Virgin Islands. Ladies and gentlemen, bankers, investors, government leaders, we cannot do this alone. We must collaborate across sectors, across governments, businesses, and communities. And as one person recently said, we must adopt an all-of-society approach when looking at tourism. We need the financial and education sectors to invest in the youth of this region. We must invest in our young people, in their training, in their development, in their future. We must open pathways for young people to take on leadership roles, not just in hospitality, but in the many fields that contribute to the tourism ecosystem: finance, marketing, sustainability, and beyond. The next generation of tourism leaders will shape our industry for decades. The return on investment is immeasurable, not just for tourism, but for the Caribbean as a whole. In closing, let me leave you with this thought. Tourism is everybody's business, which you have been told time and time again. It is therefore our responsibility, like we like to say in the Caribbean, to mind our business. By building this industry and investing in our youth, despite challenges, and we are very acutely aware of the challenges that confront our industry, I truly believe that the future for tourism in the Caribbean is bright. As my colleagues say, we know how to do tourism in the Caribbean. But we must empower the next generation to take the lead. Together, we can ensure that the Caribbeans remain the world's premier year-round tourism destination for generations to come. Thank you very much for this opportunity to speak with you today, and I wish you a wonderful conference. Thank you.